Sabrel choy kadino yomari lai b'niyato ani hayoy meliditicho Teriyem b'shevet barzel kichli yoytzer tenapetzei Yivdu es adinoi b'yira v'gilu b'rodo Mizmel David b'varchoy mipnei Avshalom benoi Rabbi mohimrim lenavshi ein Yeshua saloi v'lihim sehlo Koili el Adonai ekra v'yanei nimi harkot sheisehlo Lo yira mirivaisa asher saviv shasu aloi Adonai Yeshua alam echa v'chasecha sehlo Kari anene lehei tziki batzar herchavtali chanei nushmat filasi Du kiflo adonai chosid lo adonai yishma bekari elov Zivchu zivchei tzedek uvidchu el adonai Nosata simcha v'libi me'ez deganom v'sirei sham erovu Lamanatseach el anechilois mizman David Hakshiva lekoil shavi malki v'lihoi ki lech espalo Ki lo yel chafetz reshaota lo yigur chara Tabei doivri chazav ish damim umirma yisoei v'adoinoi Deinoi nechein mitzidkasech oleman shoyroi yishar lefonai derkecho Hashimeim elihim yivelu mimaitzeisei yemberoi pisheim adichei yemoi kimoruvach Ki ato dvorech tzadik adoinoi katzina ratzoin atadrenu Adino, ayal be'apachos echichei, ni be'apachamoschos yasereini. Nafshi nivhala meyoir, ve'ato adino yad masoi. Kim b'ama v'zichrecha v'shoel mi yoideloch. Moshe shomi kaseini, yosko b'chol tzairoi. Shama Adonai techinosi Adonai tefilosi yikoch Shigayoin leDavid asher shor l'Adonai el divrei chush ben yimini Pen yitchoiv ki aryein avshi pereg v'ein matzil Im gomal tishol miro v'achal etzotzai rirekom Kuma Adonai v'yapecha inosei v'yavroi seiroi v'uro elai mishpat tzivi iso Adonai yodin amim shofteini Adonai ketzidki uchesumi alai Mogini al Elohim Moshiach Yisraeleiv Yila yashu charbo yilto ish kashtoi dorach v'yichoneneho Hine yichabel ofen v'oro amol v'yolan shoker Yashuv amaloi v'roishoi v'yal kod kadoi chamasoi yired Alam anatseach alagitis mizmel David Pi elim yen ki misato is le man serech ole ashbi so yev misnakem Ma enoish kisis kerenu ven adam kisif kedenu Tamshileyu v'maseh yodecha koil shatos achas raglav ציפור שמיים ודגי הים, עיוור ארכויס ימים. ומנצח עמוס לבין מזמר לדוד. אסמכו ואל צבא, חזה מראש שמכו עליון. כי עושיסו משפטי ודיני, ישבת לכיסא שפט צדק. אויב תמו חרבויס, לנצח ויורים נושא אשתו, עבד זכרם הימו. והוא ישפוט הבל בצדק, יודין לאומים במישרים. ויבטחו בך ידי שמך, כי לא יעזבת דרשך אדוני. כי דרש דמים אסום זכור, לא ישכח צדקה סנבים. מה נשא ברוך תילוסך, ובשערי ציון, גילה בשועסך. נוידע אדוני משפט עשה בפועל כפיו, נקש ראשו, היגיון הסדר. כי לא נצח ישכח אביון, תקווה עניים תאבד לו עד. שיסו אדוני מירו להם ידעו גויים, אלוהי שמו סלו. בגבס ראש ידלק עוני, תפסו במזימו יסו חשבו. ראשו כגוי ואפוי בל ידרוי שאין עליהם כל מזימו יסו. אומר בליבוי בעלי מועד לדור ודור אשר לברו. ישב במערב חצירים במסתרים ירג נקי, עיניו לחל יצפונו. יתקה ישויח ונופל בעצומו חלקוים. קומו אדוני אל נשא ידך, אל תשכח ענבים. ראיסו כי אתה עמל וחס, תביט לא שש בידך, לך יעזור חילך, יעשוי מתה היסוי זר. אדוני מלך עולם ועד, עבדו גויים מארצוי. לשפוט יסיים ודוח בל יוסיפוי, לרוץ אנוש מן הארץ.
We are here to pay our last respects to Hilda Stern. It's just a Chanukah passes explicitly now be mastered on Hanukkah, now be mastered on training, because we won't say anything on the history. We have one word to share with you. In last week's parsha, Torah says, "Vayeshev Yaakov Eretz Be'uri Ovid Eretz Canaan," which of course means that Yaakov celebrated in the land of Be'uri Ovid in Eretz Canaan. And Taylor told us Yaakov Yosef, and the son of Yaakov was Joseph. In Shreyas Rishona, Hoyo Yesecho Batzon, Bunaris B'Nevilovis B'Nezilpo, Sheoviv. Rashi says several pshatim. Why was Yosef called the son of Yaakov? And one pshat, Rashi says he was called the son of Yosef because it was very similar to Yosef. Another pshat Rashi says is, "Oh, this is Bo, Yesh Bigesh Yaakov Leshu Shalom." Yaakov wants to live in peace. He had enough troubles all his life. Now he wants to live in peace. Sarah says right away, Bigesh Yaakov Shalom Kofas over Yosef. So the rage of Yosef went on top of Yaakov. He couldn't live in peace. And Rashi says the following: Tzaddik mevakshei b'shalom. Tzaddik want to live in peace, and Amakosh Baruch Hu L'dan Tzaddikim Shemsukal L'Olam Habo L'Svachshis Gam L'Olam Hazeh. Is it not enough for tzaddikim to get to live in the next world? They also live in this world. So if you wouldn't let them have rest in peace. Here's the Shir Rashi. Why does Rashi say that the L'dan Tzaddikim? That should be not enough for Yaakov. She goes, Yaakov wants to live in peace, means everybody else wants to live in peace. It's not right. L'dan Tzaddikim. So the pshat is that Yaakov didn't want to live in peace for himself. I want to live in peace. The tzaddikim should be able to live in peace. And that's the mission we're not to let. If Yaakov wants to live in peace for himself, he would let. The person would let. And the reason he didn't let is because he wants to live in peace, so he should live in peace. He wanted every section to have a chance to live in peace. Yaakov wanted to live in peace. And the person told him, L'dan Tzaddikim, for you it's okay. But for all to you it's not okay. They can't live in peace. They can't have peace. That's the pshat in Rashi. They couldn't live in peace. You can't have tzaddikim have a rule that tzaddikim should have peace. Because then what happens is that they go off the derech. They don't live in peace. That's the pshat. The person told us, not for you it's good enough. For Yaakov it's good enough, but for tzaddikim all the derech is not good enough. If you have tzaddikim today that would have peace, it would not be good. You have to have tzaddikim that don't have peace. Mrs. Stern didn't have peace. She had lived a tough life. She didn't have peace. But even though she didn't have peace, but she had something else. She had a school that she came from a mishpocha. There was a Yivalga mishpocha. Therefore, she had that peace. She had that timsa, that type of peace. So if today is Hanukkah and there's also this say tachnun, say slichas, so that's what she would have wanted. She would not have wanted to have it. Her avaya should be one that you don't do what Chanukah says. Chanukah, it's pelvic. Chanukah starts off with this halacha. You can't be maspid, you can't be misayin. This is the halacha the Chanukah starts off with. So the first day Hanukkah, she come and be maspid her, that would be not right. upon him. That's the biggest hesped you can say on her. She would always do what she had to do. She always did what she had to do. Whether it was tough or not tough, she had to do what she had to do. She was able to have a son-in-law that was a godly Torah. Godly Torah. And she had a daughter that was Moshe Nefesh for her all her years. All her years she was Moshe Nefesh. I don't understand how it's possible that a daughter should be Moshe Nefesh like she did. The person should give her schar, and give her a chama, and she should be able to say to have a nachas the rest of her life. She was able to call to.
As Rabbi Garfunkel said, today is Hanukkah, and therefore it's not a time for hesped, it's not a time for typical eulogy, it's not a time to mourn and to focus on the loss. Minukah Olam is, however, to mention some of the shvach, some of the praises of the one that was nifter, and to give some chizuk to the mishpacha. The Satmarov pointed out there are 2 days in the Yiddish calendar that we focus on the trees, on the fruit of the trees. One is Tu B'Shvat, which is Rosh Hashanah Li'Lones, and the second is Shavuos. Atzeres Nidonim Al Peros Se'ilon, the Mishnah tells us that one of the Yemei Hadin is Shavuos, which is the Yom Hadin for Peros Se'ilon. And Satmarov asked, one would have expected, if Shavuos is the day that we focus on the Peros Se'ilon, and Tisha B'Av is the day that is, and Tu B'Shvat is the Rosh Hashanah Li'ilonos, one would have expected that we would celebrate with the trees on Tu B'Shvat and with the fruit on Shavuos. And indeed, we do exactly the opposite. On Shavuos, we have the flowers, we have branches of trees, we celebrate with the trees. And on Tu B'Shvat, when it's Rosh Hashanah Li'ilonos, we're eating the fruit, the new fruit of the year, and we have the new fruit. And he explained that when we are on Shavuos and we're focusing on the Yom Hadin of the fruit of the trees, we need to recognize and we need to realize that the fruit do not grow in a vacuum. Fruit come from a tree, and therefore we focus on that tree. On Tu B'Shvat, when we are celebrating the Rosh Hashanah of the trees, the way that we celebrate a tree is based on the fruit that it produced. And therefore, our celebration of that Elon is by eating the fruit that it produced. Hudyabas Rabbi Yaakov Shimon produced unbelievable fruit. And as Rabbi Garfunkel mentioned, it needs to be said, and it can't be said enough. I've seen many people do kibbud av, do exemplary kibbud avaim. It's very rare to find somebody whose kibbud aim rivals that of Mrs. Pollack. It was an unusual level of kibbud aim. Through every stage in her life, her main concern was Hudya Bas Rabbi Yaakov Shimon. And she produced, Baruch Hashem, daughters, that both daughters, as Rabbi Garfunkel mentioned, Pollocks were always so close with Rabbi Garfunkel, with Rebbetzin Garfunkel, and the Seichers constantly involved with their Rav, Rabbi Kellemer, and you see the amount of guidance, the amount of communication and relationship, that warm relationship that they have with their Rav as well. Somebody that produces such fruit, and somebody that produces B'li Ayin Hara fruit, that you see the next generation and the following generation, that are such beautiful fruit, that is the way we celebrate in Elon. That tells us what type of Elon Hudya Bas Rabbi Yaakov Shimon was. Again, it's not a time for hesped, it's not a time to focus on it, and therefore we're brief, but it's something that people should take note of and realize how great it was for somebody to produce such fruit. I'm now going to ask her son-in-law, Michael, to say some divrei chesed.
Rishus, the Mardas, Rabbi Garfunkel, and the Rosh Kehillah, Rabbi Charlap. I'm going to try to give some brief comments in deference to the fact that it's Hanukkah, which has been mentioned already. But I would like to give my thoughts in brief. Kavod Achron for my mother-in-law, it's Hudya Bas Rabbi Yaakov Shimon, and Peril, who were the heads of their community, and where we all come from. And I want to ask you for Mechila now, for everything that I've done inappropriately for the last 32 years, and anything that I'm going to say that might not be correct right now. It struck me that when Mommy was passed away last night, on the first night of Hanukkah, what's the significance of that? And there's another Gemara that I always like to think about. It says that if somebody passes away and is buried on Erev Shabbos, that it's a Simin Yafeh. And Al Pi Drush, it struck me that perhaps if somebody's taken to the next world by the Rebbeinu Shalom on the first night of Hanukkah, it's also a Simin Yafeh. And we know that the Rebbeinu Shalom only sends people into this world at the moment they're needed, and they're only taken from this world when their tafkid has been completed. So if somebody's taken on the first night of Hanukkah, what does that mean? So I related to a thought that I heard from a Rebbe that I listened to a lot, is Divrei Torah, Rabbi Shalom Rosner in Eretz Yisrael, and he brought the following: the story in the Gemara in Avodah Zarah about Rabbi Meir, who was married to the famous daughter of Hanani ben Tradian, Broya, and he had a sister-in-law, and the Romans imprisoned the sister-in-law, and unfortunately set her to be in a place of non-tahara. And he decided that he's going to go there, and he wants a redeemer. He wants a pidyon shvuim, and he goes there and he finds the guard in charge of the place, and he says to him, "I'm going to give you $100,000, put $50,000 in your pocket, use $50,000 to bribe the Roman authorities, and please release my sister-in-law." And he says to a mayor, he says, "Very good, but when the $50,000 is used up, they're going to come after me. How do I know I'm going to be okay?" And Rameir said to him the famous line that many of us know, and we call Rameir Balades. He says, just repeat the following words: Elakai de Meir Aneni. May the God of Meir help you. And he says, "I don't believe it." And the Gemara goes on to say that there was two very, very bad dogs there, and Rameir throws a cloud of earth at the dogs, and they come running after him, and he says, "Elakai de Meir Aneni," and they stop. And he says, "Okay, I'm sold." And the end of the story is that they arrest this guy, they bring him to the gallows, the Roman authorities, they say, "Elakai the mayor Aneni," and he's saved. What's pshat over here? Over there, the Maharsha asks the question, he says, "I have a bigger question, just before I get to the pshat." The question is, how could Rameir say, "Elakai the mayor Aneni"? We know that we only associate the name of the Rebbeinu Shalom with somebody who's no longer in this world. It's Avram, Elokai Avram, Pachad Yitzchak, Elokai Yaakov, but not in a living person. So the Maharsha gives a pshat that's really, really beautiful, and I'll tie it in over here. He says that it's not what he meant. What he meant is, Elokai de Meir Aneni, Hashem, who enlightened us with the miracle that we have on Hanukkah, the miracle of light, may he save us. And what we learn from this is that this is a holiday of miracles, and it's a time for bakashas, and we can daven to Rebbeinu Shalom. We have 8 days of time of miracle, and that's what Elokai de Meir Aneni means. In regards to Hudya Bas, Yaakov Shimon, and Peril, this is, I think it's important to say that this is the closing chapter. This is the end of the chapter of 12 people who survived the war and went all over the world to Munich and to Italy and to Eretz Yisrael and all settled here in Cleveland. And these 6 people, they were Gebarim. They were unbelievable. And they built entire worlds. And not to mention only the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren, but entire worlds. And she's the last of the Mohicans, as they say. And she closed it up. And also, on a personal note, for me and my wife, Renee, this is the last of our 4 parents. And I think this is a message to us to say, now it's our time, as we go into Hanukkah, to use the power of Hanukkah and to daven for our bakashas and our miracles at the closing of this chapter of these survivors who were unbelievable and everything that they accomplished. And we have to thank them. So that's my thoughts. And Hashem should give a nechama to our family. Bila hamavas lenetzach hamacha Adonai Elohim dima makol ma'al kol panim.
As the Rav, Chalap, and my uncle mentioned already, it's Hanukkah, and we don't say Hespedim on Hanukkah, so I'm not going to say Hesped. But Hanukkah, the Indian of Hanukkah is Lahoidos or Lahal. Lahoidos, to be Makir Toiv. I'm not going to say any more. I'm not going to be able to add to what anyone else has said already, like as far as Hespedim and Yoni Chizuk. But I want to make something known that not a lot of people know, if anyone. My father, Olav Shalom, went to yeshiva. My father was in Chavetzelet, in a local school, a public school. And who pushed that my father not be in public school, that he go to yeshiva? It's my grandmother, Bas Yaakov Shimon. And I have a tremendous hakaras hatov, because had my father not gone to yeshiva, where would our family be today? Baruch Hashem, my father had 4 children who all went to yeshivas. They learn Torah, do mitzvahs, and each one of us have children, Baruch Hashem. And Grandma, you have a tremendous, tremendous fortune and a tremendous, tremendous schusim. And these schusim should stand up for you. And you should be a Melis Yosher for the entire family. For my mother. And my aunt Renee and Michael, and their children, and their grandchildren. Mocha Hashem Elokim Dimui Al Kapanim.
I'm not one that's usually lost for words, but today is one of those times. I think the hardest part about today is not being able to be masbid with my grandmother when she deserves so much more and such the kavod achron that we give her. She deserves so much more. I think that the chizuk that we could take, I guess, would be that in today's Hanukkah, and Hanukkah is about being happy. We're not masbid, the Rabbanan mentioned before. And we had this conversation on the way in this morning when we drove in, that my grandmother was always happy. She was always smiling. Everything was good. She loved everybody. I came to the hospital a week ago, and she was in very bad shape, and I took her hand. Hi, Grandma, how are you? Fine. Baruch Hashem. She was not fine. That was her attitude. Everything was good, and nothing was bad. And I want to ask Mechila, on behalf of myself, especially myself, on behalf of all my siblings, on behalf of my mother, that we definitely did not give you the kavod that you deserve, but that you should be meichlos, and that we should all take this lesson of simcha, to always be tamid b'simcha. And if we could take that away, I think that would be the biggest chus, and that would be what Chanukah accomplishes.
We don't say Molay today because it's Hanukkah. Just say Kapitel Tehillim. Michtam David Shomreni Elki Chasisi Vach Amart Ladinoi Adinoi Ata Tavasi Balalech Lekdesh Meshabar Tzem Vadir Kachefti Bam Yibat Zvesim Acher Maharu Bal Asach Niskem Midam Valeses Shmeis Masfase Adinem Nas Chalki V'Chaisi Atat Haymich Geirali Chavalim Nafuli Banim Mafnachas Shafra Leia Varech Sadanei Asher Yatzani Af Leilos Yisruni Chol Yosi Shvisi Adin Ei Benegdi Samid Kimimini Bal Emet Lachen Samach Livi Vayagol Kvoidi Af Kesar Yishkem Avetach Ki Loisazev Nafshi Lishol Loisitin Chasid Chol Yos Shachas Tediene Chaim Sevas Machis Es Panecha Nimes Bimincha Netzach. Shiva is going to be at Pollock Residence 23881 Timberlane, and there will not be minyanim there, but the hours will be throughout the day.